promote mine. It's just, I love it there.
I love somebody's asking what's the name of the podcast if they want to look it up.
It's called Bob Saget's Here For You. And if you go to my Instagram, it's right there. I've been a whore all day. I've just been promoting it like you do.
No, you're supposed to. Otherwise, people need to know. I'm going to listen. I'm a huge fan of yours. But I was saying in the UK, I love the UK. I actually like British comedy. I grew up because I'm Canadian, and I grew up watching, I'm a little buzzed. So I can't
Monty Python.
Well, Monty Python came later. There was the two Ronnies. But
I met Benny Hill. One of the first jobs I ever had, and I know you were a fan of Benny Hill.
Yeah.
We don't have to even discuss that because you're a physical person also comedically. And I met him doing that show I did before Full House that I got fired from called The Morning Program. And
CBS, right?
Yep. And I interviewed him, and I didn't know the axis of the camera, which means both people, the camera should be on the same side of the person when that interviews, and that interviews the other way. But I crossed the axis because I was a film major, right, in college. Right. And so then I had to flip myself. And my part was on the other side. It looked like I had a stroke. It was terrible.
Wait, I didn't know you got fired from that show. You were good on that show.
I always get fired from things I'm good on. But while I was interviewing Benny Hill, I had him walk behind me, and he did the old man character that I've become, and he was in the shot while I'm interviewing him. So that kind of was interesting.
That is interesting. And that's the other thing. We've gotten to meet like heroes throughout the years. And I watched Monty Python, and we got to meet them all, and I get to
Did you meet all of them?
I don't think all of them. I met Eric, and
I'm friends with Eric. Erickson in France right now with his wife, who's wonderful. He's
John Cleese's daughter was on. Do you know her? She's a stand-up.
No.
Yeah, I think she was on America's Got Talent. I think she came in one year. She's actually very pretty and very funny. I can't remember her first name, but
well, she'll probably pop up. I mean, we're starting to be people now. You can open bottles. We're settled. This is where it should have started. It should have started like this. If I'd have found it.
It's so weird that we're already halfway through this hour, and we've done nothing.
We can do longer. We don't care.
Okay, we can. It's not like I have places to go. And that's the other funny thing. People will say that they'll go, I'm going to call you around 11 tomorrow. They go, what time? 11. Let me check my schedule. How busy can one be in quarantine?
I said to you, hey, can I give you a call to call me? There's nothing. I have nothing. No one's calling. But you're busy. I bet you're busy. You've been doing Zoom calls?
Everybody's been on Zoom. I didn't know what Zoom was 2 months ago. Right. And now it's like a vernacular. Now they go, I'll Zoom you at 2.
I'm surprised you're not a partner in that. You're a good businessman. That's the thing to get started.
I didn't hear of it. I'm not a partner in, but I'm working with this other company called Talk Shop Live. And Talk Shop Live, do you know who they are?
Yeah, they're out of jail.
No, but that's not Talk Shop Live. It's an app that anybody, and this is good for like small businesses, and I'm not making any part of this, but small businesses can download this app, and you can do your own home shopping network from home. So I have been joining small businesses and helping them hock their wares, and trying to keep, their doors are just shuttered, and they can't conduct business, and they can't pay the rent, and they can't buy food. So if I can help, and I come from retail. Before I did this, I was in the carpet business when you met me.
A lot of people out there that are watching, a lot of Brazil people. I don't know what's going on. Oh, I have a talent, Howie. Someone just said.
Well,
I don't know if they're hitting on you or what. I don't know what that means.
They do that a lot, because I'm on America's Got Talent. And I don't know if you had the same thing when you were on America's Funniest Videos, but
they said I got a video for you. Yeah.
But they would, in the mall, somebody would just send a 12-year-old girl up to me in the middle of the mall, and she would just start dancing for me, which looks wrong. And there's nothing I can do. I don't have.
Tell them to come back in 20 years.
Yes, but I would imagine that you had people come up to you in the mall and just kick you in the nuts or throw balls in.
They threw balls at my balls, but yeah. People wanted to get on the show, but I couldn't. If I got them on the show, then they weren't eligible to get money.
I know, but just the thing.
How much money do you give away on America's Got Talent?
Money, the winner gets $1 million. But more than that, more than that, even the people that don't win the show end up with an amazing career. You know, I was saying that I was talking to you the other day, and if you go down the Las Vegas Strip, every third billboard is somebody who was at least on it. You know, from Tape Face to Piff the Magic Dragon. Well, Matt Franco won, Terry Fader won, but Jabberwockies were on our show. I know they were on Dance Crew also. So, and these people and other people tell me that they go on and they traveled the world, you know, because they had the exposure on AGT. So it is a great career maker for people.
From America's Funniest Home Videos, I met people, most of them are in jail. They rob liquor stores. There's kids that hit their father in the nuts and the father had to be neutered. A lot of accidents, a lot of older people hitting cement.
But you were the precursor to like YouTube.
I was
and
the beginning of YouTube, and I was really serious about it because I was communicating with the people. And I really felt like I knew what I was doing. You know, like, you know, the medium you're in.
Yeah.
I knew that they were on their couch. The cameras were gigantic, and they were sending me their private stuff. So I got to look into people's private lives. And then people would always say, why didn't the good video win? And the reason was it was a foreign tape that they paid for. So they didn't have the budget to fly somebody out from Yugoslavia, you know?
Wow.
But
that is the first time that we got a real dose of real people in their real homes. There was no YouTube.
There was no nothing. There was nothing like that. There was a show called Real People years ago.
I remember that.
Right. We were trying to get started, I think, when Skip Stevenson and Byron Allen was on that. He was 17 or something.
Yeah, and now Byron owns the weather.
I know he does. He changes the weather. He told me he can make it sunny or rain.
Yeah. But it's weird that all these kids that we started out with are doing something. It's kind of like when I came out here, I don't know if you know this, but my first job, Mike Nesmith hired me off of Make Me Laugh, and he hired me to do this thing called Pop Clips. And it was me and Charles Fleischer. And he flew us up to Monterey, and we did this thing, and he said, you know, and we're going to try to sell it to, I don't know that it was called Nickelodeon at the time, whatever it was, but I'm going to do music videos, and I want you to introduce music videos. And he had us do it. It's called Pop Clips. If you Google it, you can see Mike Nesmith Pop Clips.
People that don't know, Michael Nesmith was one of the main people of the Monkees.
Which that clears it up for people who don't know who Mike Nesmith is. Do you think they know who the Monkees are?
How do you turn this on?
Yes. Monkees were like the Beatles, but
that was your big break because we were both on.
Well, no. But what it was they gave it to Nickelodeon, and they go, "This is not a show. This is a network," and that was the beginning of MTV.
We're gonna die soon.
Yeah. But
well, he did a show called Elephant Parts. Were you trying to get on Elephant Parts?
He had just done Elephant Parts.
That was
just right after Elephant Parts.
I auditioned at the Comedy and Magic Club, and I didn't get it. And I was really upset because you got to go make your comedic film.
Right.
And my friend Gary Shandling got it, and he went and made one. And he kind of made that one of the main things that he feels started his career. And it was was it on NBC or Showtime? I can't remember.
What? Elephant Parts?
It doesn't matter. They don't want to see two old men talk anymore. We have to be
We're
young.
reminiscing.
You're young and vital. You are 17 years old still to me. I mean, you're 22.
I'm an old guy. I'm going to be 65. But you know what?
I know the age, but I watch the TikTok, and that's a 12-year-old.
Anybody can dance for 15 seconds.
Yeah, but Mark Cuban dances, but he's still a father of the kid. When you dance, it's like you're just gone.
Well, today I put up a dance challenge. I'm hoping people will go to it and try to. I choreographed it all myself. My daughter challenged me to the dance. But
can you do every step? I promise next time I'm going to do it. But you really have to practice to do it.
No, there's a trick. You want to know what the trick is? I swear to God, I don't know how to dance. You want to know what the trick is? Should I give it away on here? Okay. So here's the trick. If you want to do a duet, you never see me dancing alone. You see me do duets. And then on the duet, when I'm recording the duet on TikTok, I put it on the slowest speed. So when their hand goes up like this.
Oh, that is a horrible trick. That's great.
I gave it away.
No, I'm going to do that tomorrow.
And then all of a sudden they say you're a good dancer, but I'm not really a good dancer. I'm just copying moves in really, really, really slow motion.
And are you doing it with the big TikTok stars? I mean, the ones that
I
have
know them. I've done some of them. I mean, they're not in the room.
You've
right?
done. Wait a minute. You've done some of them.
Well, not in the old days. We used to say "done" for sex. No.
No, but you've been with Terry forever, and you also had a thing about not wanting to touch people. So it's kind of good. It's the best thing for a marriage.
My problem is just with my hands. No other part of my body. I just don't like to shake hands.
Hey, don't. But
I have 3 kids, but I always said after sex with my wife, I always said she always wants to shake hands and congratulate me. I go, no, I don't do that.
So it's like a business
I will have
deal.
sex with you, but there's no meet and greet. I don't want. I'll lay on you or under you wherever you want, and I'll have fun. But don't try to touch my hand.
I always thought that first base used to be holding hands, and then it goes to second and third.
No, wasn't first base making out?
I don't know, but I made fourth base just shaking hands because today people start with
I understood those bases. I wasn't that popular. In fact, I think most girls used to walk me. I didn't hit first base. I didn't hit second.
Right, I didn't either.
4 balls, 4 blue balls, and I walked.
Was that your Hebrew name?
4 blue balls?
Yeah. Yakov Smirnov. You get 4 balls, you walk.
Oh, I remember that.
Oh
Yakov
my God, I know
Smirnoff
only you. I mean, we got kids here. Oh, someone wants to smell your fingers. First base is kissing. You were right.
Smell my fingers. I always
People have not seen your hands this much ever.
Yeah.
Look at you. You're touching your face. That's how safe you are. I touch. Oh. I'm clean. How often do you Purell throughout the day?
No, I don't. I just use soap and water. I went in 1998 when Purell, I met the guy who created Purell, and he said he thanked me for putting him on the map. I had a daytime talk show, and they said I had to shake hands because I said I don't want to shake hands, and people come on with a cold.
I was on that show.
Yeah. And my buddy got me his friend made this hand sanitizer with Purell. I had that bucket under my desk, and I used to do it. But what happened was I over Purelled.
And what happens then? Do you become a skeleton hand man?
No, I ended up getting. This is just me. It's not Purell, but any hand sanitizer. You're killing the good bacteria too.
Yeah.
So I had it because I didn't touch anything, and my hands were so clean and so raw that I ended up getting like these viral things on my hands. So I don't.
Oh, you got like little bumps and stuff?
Yeah, like warts and stuff.
There was a guy that approached me. I had a trainer, and he approached me with a guy who said, "We're only having 20 investors. You give 20 grand each, and we are only taking 20 people." And I said, "What's the product?" And he said, "It's an energy drink, and it gets you hepped up." And I said, "I don't want to do that. I don't believe in making the heart. I don't want to be responsible for heart attack." It was Red Bull.
Are you kidding me?
I would have had a 20th of Red Bull and blood on my hands. But I would have had
Red Bull 20th. Is dangerous?
Well, with vodka, people do that. They were heart attacks.
Just a mix.
And, you lose a few people. Now we're in like hell. We're in hell. I mean, I know people that are, do you know people affected with this corona?
Yeah.
Me too.
I won't mention names because of the HIPAA Act. You got to be, but I got to tell you, there was a comic this season on AGT. I was so scared. Because when we were shooting AGT is when it started. We were shooting America's Got Talent, and it started. And then they got rid of our audience. And then we're there. And then Heidi starts to cough, and she says, "I think I have a fever." And I screamed like a little girl. And then they sent her home, and and it took her 3 weeks to get tested, and it came back negative. Then I got, thank God, it's just a flu. I didn't get that. And then there was a comic on the show who ended up in the ICU at Cedars-Sinai. He's fine. He's okay. But
I have a dear friend. He's an actor on Broadway. He's brilliant. I love him so much. And he was starring in a play. Of course, that's all shut down. It's unbelievable what's happened to the world. And New York I have 2 daughters there, so I'm a little bit concerned. And he was in the hospital for 10 days, and he's lucky to be alive.
Was he intubated?
He was not. They didn't put him on the ventilator, but they forced oxygen. They kept them on forced oxygen, and that cleaned it out. Because what happens is your lungs, you get pulmonary hypertension, and your lungs kind of harden, and it's just all the symptoms are the symptoms. I mean, watching Chris Cuomo at night, you go like,
oh my God,
he's talking you through it, and my wife has a crush on him. I don't need that right now.
really?
Let's watch.
She has a crush on him now, even with.
She likes him better now.
No,
he's a warrior. He's in the basement, and he's separated from his wife to keep the world safe.
And now she's sick. She has it too.
She has it too, but they're in separate rooms because he can't be with her because he's got I don't know what.
Isn't that weird? They both have COVID-19, yet they can't be together. I find that fascinating.
It kind of, to me, that would be hot. You know, you both got a fever.
Give me fever. That would be amazing.
And I was thinking of the Steely Dan song, COVID-19. Hey, we got nothing in common.
See?
That's how you lose everybody. That's when all the hearts stop. All the heart. Yeah. See that?
I know. But you know what? You know what's interesting? We started with like 1,600 people, and I did the drinking game, and we've been talking, and now we have 500 people. So I look at the glass being half, because we've lost 1,000 people since we started, and this must be real titillating conversation.
But people are going to watch this afterward, and then I find it gets a whole lot of people, and then it disappears.
Well, people watch it to say, "What was so boring? Why would you leave?" Like people will say, "I watched Bob and Howie. It wasn't great."
Bob couldn't find Howie. What the hell's happened to Bob? And I'm working like an animal right now, selling a thing I believe in. And when we believe in something, I actually want to do this. I want to help people right now. I know you do too.
No, I know, and that's what people don't realize, and that's what I love about you, Bob. You've always probably one of the funniest people I know in person, even off stage, but on stage, it was great. You know, your act is great, but you're really funny. We laugh out loud when we get to talk. But more than that, you have a real heart. You're a real mensch. And for those of you who aren't Jews out there, that's just a nice way of saying he's a good guy. He's a really good guy with a good heart and a good dad and a good friend. And
you are.
No, you are. This is like when I used to watch Mike Douglas and Sammy Davis Jr. used to come on. And just be so maudlin about how wonderful Mike Douglas
I just had Bill Burr on my podcast, and he just ripped me apart. He was saying, "You're so fake nice," but we're friends.
Yeah.
And he was just saying that he thinks my stand-up became all of the lines that they cut out of Full House. And then I just took them and said fuck a lot around them. He says that's what my stand is.
That's a very funny theory, but I
might be right.
Him that I was there before Full House and I was there before CBS. Those lines were there. You're a really funny guy, and
you were funny from the moment you started. Literally from the moment you started, and you played off the audience like in a different way. I mean, we all looked at Don Rickles, we all looked at people that we looked up to, but you have your own way of doing it. And
but people don't know that behind the scenes, you're responsible for a lot of careers. You know, you brought Brad Gray out here. Brad Gray was your manager, who ended up being may he rest in peace, a huge powerhouse in this in this industry. And he signed Gary and got Gary's stuff. I know that didn't end well, but
no, that's an albatross in my life.
I know, but ultimately,
we had to have lost more people now.
What?
We had to have lost more people now.
Oh, now I'm gonna open another bottle.
But I like, and you like helping people. I mean, America's Got Talent. You're helping people. You know, you're helping them find.
You know what? But it helps me more than I help people. I love sitting there in front of that, in front of that stage and watch people's hopes and dreams come to fruition. It's so amazing. It's so exciting. As exciting as it is on television, it's twice. I just feel like I'm stealing money there because that really doesn't seem like a job. It just seems like an opportunity to witness humanity at its best. You know, people have adverse things going on in their life, and they're willing to show up and put themselves out there, and really out there, to be possibly criticized. And today, when you and I started, there wasn't social media, which for the most part can be kind of mean and beat you up.
Oh, it's I spend half the day blocking.
I don't even block. I just read, and that's how I beat myself up. I read what you say.
I only block a few things when it's real hate stuff, when it's pure hate or dangerous stuff. I just kind of, or someone's gonna, you read someone's gonna, are they self-harm? You read that in their thing. I report that. I don't want someone to hurt themselves,
But it's really amazing how, that has actually changed the landscape for us. I think we talked about that earlier. Like, it's killed political correctness. When we started in the business, media were professionals, and media were, people that would show up and worked for a publication or a broadcaster, and they were kind of responsible. Sometimes they misquoted, and sometimes
I still got bad reviews.
I always got bad reviews.
I had a nice write-up today in the LA Times.
Oh, did you?
Really nice. She was so kind. And it was about the podcast because she heard 3 episodes of it. And the fact that I'm calling real people, and it's real for me. Like, I'm having a relationship. I'll call 2 or 3 people an episode when I'm doing that, when I'm not just talking or having a friend on like yourself. Right. And it means, I called a guy, and he was stoned. And he started giggling, and I just talked to him for a half hour, and he was amazing. Completely wasted. And it was real. And then other people that they tell you their losses, and they want to talk to you, and it's kind of what you're doing. You're making people's dreams come true. But I'm on.
Well, I have nothing to do with it. You have more to do with it because this is your show and you're orchestrating it.
Well, it's also something that I never had an idea. The Times made the show what it is, and.
Well, the beauty for us, and is the fact that as much as we make fun of our age, I kind of like having this perspective now and being able to look back. I wish I had this kind of knowledge and this perspective when I was young and dumb.
Same.
And I was young and dumb, but I'm not doing things, and I feel like you're the same way. I'm not seeking, notoriety. I'm not seeking another dollar. I just want to do things that I'm passionate about, like
or that's fun,
right?
Or that means something.
Well, you and I sitting here on Instagram and talking for an hour, we legitimately enjoy each other and want to be friends and are reaching out and having a conversation.
Let people see that because that's a positive for them. All 412 of them from 5,000.
From 1,600. We're down to nothing, and we will keep talking until nobody is listening.
We're going.
In fact, I would imagine there'll be no viewers. You'll hang up, and I'll be here alone.
This ends at some point. I don't know when, but it's an hour thing.
What do you mean it ends?
I think it ends after an hour.
No, I don't think. I think you could stay on as long as you want.
That's good news.
People are
happy to see us. Look, watch this. Maybe we'll get new people. Hey, Howie Mandel. That's from Michael. I love you both. That's from Carly. Howie from Elizabeth 1.
Give you a shout out.
Halligan girl or someone said she's not leaving. So, and then
she's not leaving. The Halligan girl
in Chinese.
You know what that's like? The Halligan girl is like the person you have a party and then you're upstairs and you go down and you tell her, just start vacuuming. Maybe she'll leave. Hi, Caitlin. Hi, Caitlin.
I'm high, Bob. Steven, just be safe. Don't go driving. Someone loves you. Julian loves you. Julia.
Hi, Bob. And hey, Howie, I'm a germaphobe too. Well, good luck with that.
We all are now. We all are now.
I said each one of us has become Anne Frank. A cross between Anne Frank and Hugh Hefner, because we're in our pajamas all day. Most of us are in our pajamas all day. His
pool skimmer, forget all germ fur. Did you ever go to the Playboy Mansion back in the day?
Mm-hmm. With my wife.
With your wife?
Yeah. They have parties there.
My friends Jonathan Silverman and Jennifer Finnegan met at the Playboy Mansion,
really
fell in love, and got married. And they have a beautiful
People don't
daughter.
know. That's what the Playboy Mansion was about, bringing people together. People don't realize that. That's exactly what that was for.
There were some people that were just players trying to do that, but it also was about people trying to have a nice party. But
I love Jonathan.
Jonathan,
I lived a summer in North Carolina where I was doing a movie years ago called Little Monsters, and he was doing Weekend at Bernie's at the same time. So we were staying in the same hotel, and we became friendly at that time. But there's another guy whose path I crossed, and I have no idea. His sister was my pediatrician. Not mine.
Yeah.
My child's pediatrician.
He is one of the, he and his wife and Kelly and I were very close. I love him so much.
Say hi to him for me.
He and Jennifer is a great actress and he's a great actor, but they married us. They married Kelly and I. They did the ceremony.
He's an ordained thing?
He did for the day. He got the website thing, but he's married other people. His father was a rabbi.
I know his father was the rabbi at the Hollywood synagogue. My son's an ordained minister.
We're losing a lot of people with our Jewish references. We dropped 25 people. And Frank took us down.
Who's drunk as hell? I'm dizzy. I'm not really drunk. But these are all really good questions. They've stopped even commenting. They're just emojis. I don't know what to do with somebody's emoji.
There's still hearts flying up, and it's nice. It's it's weird. Instagram and Facebook copied it, and everybody did the right thing. When you're doing this and you see a bunch of hearts coming up, it kind of feels nice.
Does it? To me, it looks like a Smurf farting.
That's probably what it looks like. It's multicolored, but they're doing it purposely now.
Really?
Yeah, a Smurf fart is blue. It's blue gas, right?
I have never been behind a Smurf, but see, people don't realize this is not just entertaining; it's educational too. You learn things. Bob Saget is the best. You're the best.
Jim Fisher. I thought it said Felcher, and that's not a good word.
No, felching is not good. Randy
Earl and I
know.
We know all the wrong words.
Felching?
It's not a good word.
Is it not a good word?
Oh,
I don't know that the word. I don't know that the word is bad. I think what it is bad.
No, the word. There's probably a guy named Felcher. There's probably a Merv Felcher.
How many people here? Because you can tell how young people are. I don't know if it's a. In our days, we had felching.
In our days, back when porn was king.
Yeah.
I don't know what the hell's going on. I mean, I don't even know if the porn industry can exist right now.
What, are you kidding? It's probably off the hook now.
No, but the viewing of it. But I don't think they're filming. I don't think. Or if you're doing porn.
Do you think in porn social distancing is a problem?
Well, not really, because some guys are so well endowed they can be a mile away. Yeah.
Do you have to do oral with a mask on?
Yeah. And it's all Purell as lube.
See? See what he's done here?
Nothing. We gained
COVID-19.
Howie, we gained some people.
Well, once you start talking about porn, then the kids come in.
Right. Tell your dad to come in the room. So what's the grossest porn film you
You know what? To be honest with you, go ahead. You can tell.
No, you go.
No, I think I find it fascinating. And it was really funny because I'm on the road and I'm with my buddy who is my producer and road manager, Rich Thurber. So he's always got to go down to the desk and check out, and there's always like an $80 SpectraVision charge. And that's because I'm so fascinated I look for the worst and for comedy because they're just so
like
bad.
Animal stuff, barnyard?
No. Animal stuff is just sick.
Are you
but
just
I'm
saying
just saying,
hardest,
if you read it, I'm trying to think of some of the things that I saw. Like
there's 13-year-olds on here. There's little happy faces and hearts.
Yeah, but I'm not watching it for porn. I'm watching it for the comedy. I love the acting. I love that they try to make a scene out of nothing.
I like that as well.
It makes me laugh hysterically.
I actually would watch the scenes more than,
that's what I did. And Rich would say to me, how did you see like 30 different films? Because I get bored. Like once the sex starts, I'm not really interested. I like the setup, the theme, and also they're parroting, a lot of, big movies, big titles.
Major movies, right.
Yes.
My question for you is surfing porn like going to Sundance for other people?
What?
Is it like going to Sundance? Do you look
I'm just doing screening. I'm just screening things.
And do you give them tomatoes and everything? Do you rate them?
I just rate them. But then Rich always gets them off my bill because he'll go, how could somebody watch 61 different films in one night?
The problem is the 24-hour option. That's the problem. We've been on the road a long time. So
yes. The titles, I love I find titles so intriguing. I can't not click on a title.
Right, right. So
You know?
when the word "does" is the middle word of the three words.
It always
Someone
is.
does some, and if
Right.
a goat is the last part, that's not. I can't go animal kingdom.
No, no animals. I'm not into even the porn that much. I'm just into the
We're just trying to get more people to sign on. Is pretty much, and I
not
think
working.
they dropped down now. They dropped down.
50
But
Shades. Is this 50 Shades of Grey? Why? Because we're old?
I had to. I was on The View one time, and I interviewed E.L. James, the writer of the book.
Really?
Yeah, and she was really cool and really nice, and she didn't seem sexual at all, but
She's
she
not.
must
She's
be.
just like a housewife. That's what launched. Did you ever see that thing? I think HBO is going to end up doing it. My Dad Wrote a Porn.
Steve
No.
Levine.
Really? That's our agent. We have the same agent.
He's
Look what he got us. He got us a
he's this
free.
tall. He's a troll doll. He's that big.
How busy could he be? Look, his 2 clients are on Instagram.
Well, I told him we were doing this, and he said I'll be free at 6. I have a Zoom.
Really? So
Yeah.
obviously he didn't turn on his Instagram because he's phoning you in the midst of this.
I don't think anybody in show business watches Instagram or Twitter or know anything except for the people that are in, that kind of world.
You don't think people watch this? I think this is.
I think our friends. I think people that like us are.
You think it's kind of sad? 400
told me to
people all
play
around the
guitar.
whole world. What?
That was it. All right.
Was that a request?
Yeah, someone to play guitar, so I did it.
Hello, bummers. Hey, you never know. I like when people are commenting on maybe something we said a couple of minutes ago, and
Right.
I don't know what
I think it's just out of sync. I do think there's a lag. They were talking about the pizza review guy. Do you watch him? Do you watch Dave? Stool Presidente, Barstool Sports is a giant.
Yeah, I've done that. Yeah, but
and Dave is incredibly hilarious. He is. You got to watch him. You have to be accepted privately, but he's got 2 million, so he's got people that accept people. He is holed up in an apartment in New York. All he does is pizza reviews, so he's only getting frozen pizzas. And he cut his hand. His goldfish committed suicide. It's like so interesting what we're watching during this time.
But I think we'll be watching it after this time. I think this is your focus onto new. This is the new way. I mean, people are going to be doing what we're doing right now. Will eventually be television. This is the talk show.
I think it'll be a mixture because shows will get made, big budget stuff. People will have an appetite for it. There will be a group experience. I think people are going to want to go to theaters again.
Are you not going to be nervous to go to a theater and sit shoulder to shoulder with somebody?
For about a year, I will be until I know.
So that's a long time.
Until we really know about this thing. We don't know. We don't know. Like I could be immune because I think I had it. But
really?
I do. I was sick. I came back. I was about to go to Canada. I was about to go to Vancouver and work. And I had to cancel it the night before because I knew the other shoe was going to drop. And then they ended up closing Calgary. Things stopped. And I felt bad about it because I don't like to not be there for people. But I got sick and I took antibiotics. And it was like my version of it, I think. Did
you ever go get a blood test or a test?
No, I haven't left. I went for one drive with Kelly up the coast. But that was kind of weird.
But what about your wife? Did she get sick?
No, she never gets sick. She's from Chicago.
Aren't you interested in going to see that? I'm wondering if you're better now, if you would. Well, no, you test negative now if you were over it. But
I don't know. I would like to get that test. That tells me. I think most people would want to get it to know if they had it, because a lot of younger people also probably had it or have it and wouldn't even know, that they could be a carrier because they're pretty healthy,
That is scary. I didn't know you were sick.
It was like for 4 days, I never really.
Were you short of breath?
Yeah. I was just exhausted. It was like a normal flu for me, but it was a little bit different, but I didn't have the symptoms people talk about.
It's also interesting. I was watching like Allie Wentworth. She got it bad.
Yeah, and I love her.
But her husband, who's tested positive, George,
he's invincible.
Yeah, he doesn't have any side effects. But he's positive. That's amazing.
How is Tony Fauci healthy?
I don't know.
Those announcements they make every day, I'm telling you, there's no social distancing.
Well, that's what I keep thinking. They're so close together. Nobody's wearing a mask.
They hold the
sometimes
mic.
When they pull out and the president is in the Rose Garden and there's like 6 people spread all over the lawn, it's like a bad turnout for an Easter egg hunt. It's like
I just don't. I don't like the anger in the world, and
I don't like any anger. You know, I can't. And there's a lot.
Yeah, right. You made the same choice I made. That's one of the nice things about being a little older, is that you just can't do negative anymore.
Well, you know what's weird? The perspective, time perspective. When I was young, every day was like it was long, you know, or, you know, I remember when I was a kid, I went to school. It seemed like the summer off was like forever, and I was ready to go back to school. And then the school year was an eternity, and I couldn't wait for summer. And now at this age, you know, 3rd grade seems like 2 years ago to me. You know,
I'm the same way. I cannot believe that I'm 63. I can't believe it because I don't feel it. When I talk, I can sit and talk to like a 14-year-old before the police come, and I'll be able to have a conversation and just go. So, because they're just not programmed as much if you live longer. I don't look at, I'm not an ageist. I don't understand it. We're youthful.
No, but what I'm saying is when realizing that time has gone so fast, you realize the times you were mad and the times you're holding a grudge and the times you can't wait to get back at somebody. That was a waste of time. So you need to spend every minute as happy or content as you can be and just chase a moment of passion, a moment of something you're excited about. And even this, the fact that I get to connect with you and I connect with a friend, I'm not making $1. Only 400 people are watching, and I can't tell you how thrilled I am.
Let me see how many people. Yeah, we went down.
Yeah, no, we're not doing good.
But this isn't ratings. This is 2 friends talking. We haven't included them. I think that's
like a party line. Remember,
right.
Did you ever get on the party line?
No. I used to be in chat rooms when AOL started.
Yes, the dial-up and all that.
I did bad things. I'd go into a chat room and just...
Maybe you shouldn't say that out loud.
Well, people are crashing Zoom's conference calls, like major important business conference calls. I talked to a doctor today because I was on a conference call for my scleroderma research foundation that you've been kind enough to offer so much time with. And we were on a call, and one doctor was saying that somebody crashed his big meeting. It was a huge medical conference. 3 different people came in from different countries and were showing porn and were showing their private parts. And it's just like...
That's funny.
It is, but they couldn't get their work done because when they take over, they take over. They have to figure out how to stop that, because this is going to be a way. Zoom's going to be. Some people are going to go. You got a show you want to sell? Let's do it a Zoom meeting. Let's not even meet in person.
I love that though.
I do too.
I'll tell you why I love it. I love it more because of traffic. I hate driving. I hate being out in traffic. I love that I can connect with people and be in the comfort of my own home, my own office, or whatever, and you seem to get more done. Travel time is kind of a waste. A lot of people like their time in the car because it is their
I talk on the phone. I catch up with my kids or, other stuff.
I catch up with my kids. I climb a tree and look in the window because they won't let me in the house now. They all live in their own houses.
How are you and your kids getting along during this time?
What do you mean? I'm not with them. They love me.
Where are they?
They're all grown like yours. They're grown and they live. My daughter lives not too far. One of my daughters lives not too far, Jacqueline Schultz. She's got her own YouTube channel, and she's a vlogger, and she's got 2 kids, my 2 grandchildren. She lives not too far, so my wife and I will drive over, and I climb a tree, and I look in the window at my kids my grandkids because she won't let me in the house. I don't know if I'm scarring grandkids who are going to have a memory of their grandparents in the tree. And then my other kids. You don't look
like a grandfather. I've been acting like one. I'm not a grandfather.
I think I look like one, but I find my hairline. But my daughter, who's married, lives in the city, so I go over there, and she comes to the window, and I wave. And then my son also lives in the city. I talk to him a lot because we work together. He does all my digital.
It's hard for people. It's hard for me to be away. Like I'd be on a plane to New York right now, being with my daughters and spend time. And
I can't imagine sitting on a plane anymore. I found it really hard even before this happened. I was living in a pandemic. Anytime somebody coughed or cleared their throat,
I hate it.
It killed me.
My wife wipes everything down ahead of time. She always has.
They say that the tables and the side and everything
but they spray everything down, you know. But, you know, people that have got this thing that are privileged, that have a private plane, people got it. They got it from... There is no class difference when it comes to this pandemic.
Well, I was just thinking, it's funny. I'm not a smoker, but I did smoke like 40 years ago. But I used to love that when there was smoking on planes, you go, no, I want the non-smoking section. So you're in 13, and then 14 and 15 were smoking. So there's somebody sitting like a foot and a half behind you with a cigarette, and you go, thank God I'm in a non-smoking section. How is that air so much clearer than the air before?
No, you're getting cancer. You're sitting
That's
in row one.
why for the last 2 months I've been cutting down on secondhand smoking. I'm down to inhaling half.
That's the best thing about this pandemic, and there's no pollution. I mean, the Earth is kind of healing itself, but we know.
Isn't that amazing?
But once we're back up and running, it's going to double down.
But I think it's a message. I think this is a message. It's put us all on an equal playing field. You know, there's nobody strong enough, famous enough, rich enough to kind of escape, you know, COVID-19.
Right.
So it puts us on that field. And then when you look at what it's done, and you look outside, and the air is clear, and the mountains are green, and in Italy, in Venice, the canals are clear, and there's dolphins and everything. I think there's a message that we have to take.
It is, but are people going to listen? Because people that are in business, and it involves polluting. You know, I mean, to me, this would be the best time to work on energy efficient everything. You know, get off of petrol and get to electric cars, and let's make them go more than 300
Well,
miles
even
an hour.
the fact that people can get together, like you and I are getting together now and have meetings like this, there's going to be a little less of a carbon footprint because we won't have to drive to each other. You know, so maybe that'll be.
Well,
better.
you don't. I like driving. I enjoy that. Someone wrote a big thing. This is a message from Mother Nature and the higher power for us to stop the craziness, slow down. Oh, it's Mother Nature.
We've got. So then it doesn't matter that we only have 400 people because Mother Nature is one of our followers.
Teaching the young generation. That's what we're doing.
Really? That comes
yeah, because we're 100.
I'll tell you something. When I was a boy,
how do you start? I can't get Howie to join.
That's it. We didn't have Zoom. When I was a boy, we had to go meet somebody to talk to them. We didn't sit in a room talking to somebody 20 miles away on our phone and have other people listen in. I had to talk to somebody to their face. And if you were listening, I had to say, come here. I want you to hear what I'm going to be saying to Bob. This whole new world with the young kids.
You know, it's so funny that I never thought I'd be in the position to reflect like that, like my dad did, because my dad went through the Great Depression, which he said was not great. I don't know why they named it that. But did you know Rich Jenny?
Of course I did, yeah.
Okay, so he's a really funny guy, and he depression, problems, took his own life.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to tell one of his jokes. Took his own life. But the funniest thing he ever said, he had a joke about how every generation, the father will tell you what they went through. When I was a kid, we had to walk in the snow. And then the guy older than him would go, when I was a kid, we didn't have feet. We had no feet. We had stumps. We had to use the stumps to walk in the snow so we wouldn't fall down. So we used the stumps and to dig into the dirt through the snow. And it's just...
Yeah, he had that. I remember, wasn't it part of it? He went, we didn't even have air. We didn't have oxygen. We couldn't breathe when I was a boy. I used to do a bit on stage where I used to say, every day I walked 5 miles in 8 feet of snow to go to school. Every day I got up at 5 o'clock in the morning and walked 5 miles in 8 feet of snow to go to school. Even though the school was right next door, I got up at 5 and walked 8 miles.
I love Tim.
Yeah, that was.
Why is it that funny people are so screwed up?
I
So
think
many.
funny people, to be totally honest with you, I don't know that they're more screwed up than other people. And I think we all suffer from mental health issues. But I think the idea of having a sense of humor, and I always say this, a sense of humor is not somebody who laughs at a joke, but to find the humor in the darkest thing. You know, all comedy comes from darkness. Whether you're laughing at a clown falling down, you're laughing at the misfortune of somebody falling. If you're laughing at a pie in the face, you're laughing at when two guys walk into a bar, you know something embarrassing is going to happen to one of them. That's what you're laughing at. You're always laughing at misfortune. If you have the capability to sense the funny and to be so self-aware of what's happening in the moment, then you have a sensitivity. You know how they say ignorance is bliss? It makes you
say
happy.
it's my mantra.
Right. So the point is that if you're looking for the funny or you're trying to find the light at the end of the tunnel, you're so open and so aware of that even the darkness and the pain hits you as hard as the funny. You can't just be funny without feeling the pain. And knowing and recognizing the pain is why you know this will be funny. This is so painful. Let me tell you the funny side of this pain. You know, and that's why with people outside of comedy, they have these two words which I don't agree with, and they go too soon. It's never too soon to laugh. It isn't. And you got to laugh at horror.
It depends on what
it
it is, and it depends on how it's done. If it's done in that weird whiny voice where someone's trying to be funny or trying to, you know, break the wall down with something, I don't know, shock value, then it's not funny. But if it's done in a, I mean, Gilbert Gottfried always made me laugh because he would say stuff that you can't. And Sarah Silverman always makes me laugh.
But if you watch it, you know, people don't know this about Gilbert. Gilbert, who I'm really good friends with, I actually spoke to him today. I talk to him all the time.
I've been in touch with him also, so we both know.
He's a wonderful, wonderful man, and
the sweetest person.
Father. What?
And he's a great father, and he's got the most amazing wife in the world.
And if you ever get a chance, I don't know where it's available now, but there is a documentary on his life. Did you ever see the documentary?
I did. I watched it.
And it's the first time. He was the most, he kept his personal life and everything very close to the, you know, he didn't really let a lot of people in. And he was very private. And people just know that persona that we know on stage. And if you watch that movie and you get an understanding, he's also another really wonderful human being. He really is. And I think if people watched that and saw that other side, which he's never shown on stage, there's no reason to show it on stage.
He's so gentle.
Right. But he's also probably known as one of the most inappropriate comedians ever.
Oh, he purposely accidentally sabotaged his career and didn't know how. He didn't know how he even did it.
Because he is the pure form. To me, it's like classic comedy. He's the pure form of finding the light in the darkness.
He was making puns about the tsunami.
Right.
It's kind of like making jokes about what we're going through now.
But he did. You know, he was the first guy when they had the what's it called, the Friars Club roast. He was the first guy to show up. That's in the documentary and do 9/11 jokes a week after it happened. You know, and in the documentary,
and that was the Hugh Hefner roast, and Jimmy Kimmel hosted it, and they couldn't air it.
Right.
They couldn't air it because they shouldn't have done it right after 9/11. But he said some things that were, everybody said it was too soon, and he said.
But if you're going to hire a comedian, and it's going to be a week after, and
it's a roast,
right?
So do you want a roast, or do you want the
in New York? In New York, he's going to mention it.
In the middle of hell, in the middle of living hell, because I was there 2 weeks afterward, and it was living hell. I tried to go downtown, and it was his joke that really turned the thing before he started telling the aristocrats was that they had a connecting flight at the Empire State Building.
Right.
So that's not meant to offend. That's meant to go, this is how horrible this is. It's so horrible that instead of bursting into tears and being so depressed you can't function at how horrific humanity can be, you go 180. It's not, I don't know why people don't get it. You have a light behind your head that makes you look like you are the son of God right now.
That's not
you're having a brilliant idea, or I
just noticed that.
it's amazing. It was amazing. I like it. I wouldn't.
But people don't know, you know, that at the darkest moment of my life, the darkest moment in my own personal life is when I had the deepest, most guttural laughter. You know, on I'll just tell you this one really quickly, then we'll go. But you know, I'm known as a germaphobe, and the day I buried my father, you know, I was really close to my father, and I was devastated, and I was thinking about.
Did you bury him by yourself, or did you have other people help you?
I see what you did there. I thought you were going to say, was he dead?
Right.
But the day I buried my father, I was devastated. I was very close to my father.
Yeah.
And every moment I lived and got on stage, everything I did, he showed up to absolutely every show I did. And I would always, you know, I'd say something, the audience would laugh, and I'd look over to my father, who was like, my father had so much energy. He was a great guy.
Mine too. Same guy.
Yeah. So he died, and I thought, like, what's the point of making other people laugh? I really don't care. You know, I love that my dad laughed at me. And then we went to the first day at the Shiva, and I'm sitting at a house. And for those that aren't Jewish, you know, you go back to the house like a wake or the morning or whatever. Some guy comes in and he goes, listen, you're the son. I go, yeah. And he goes, your father was a great guy, and your father was, and he turns in the middle of a sentence, he turns and starts walking out, and didn't make any sense to me. And as he's walking out of the apartment, I think he drops a candy. He dropped a candy. And I went, oh, you dropped it, and he was running faster. So I went over and I picked up the candy, and I thought he dropped the candy out of his pocket, and it was mushy. And I went and smelled it and went, oh my God, the guy shit himself.
It was like a milk dud. It went down his pants leg.
Yes. And I picked up shit, and I smelled the shit, and then I start screaming and screaming. My mom goes, "What's wrong?" And I go, "He shit on me! He shit on me! The guy shit on me!" And then my mom takes me into the bathroom. My mom, I'm already like 33. My mom takes all the alcohol that we have that we're serving guests who are coming back from the funeral, and she's pouring it over my hand, and she starts screaming, "Oh my God!" I'm going, "Oh my God!" And my wife is in the living room, and the people who are visiting are going, "Oh, they are so torn up over that. They have no idea. I'm just screaming because there's shit all over my fingers."
But for you,
I just started crying because I was laughing.
But it took your mind off your dad, right? Because
yes.
you had shit on your hands.
Right, but people would say maybe it's inappropriate. By the same token, I had another guy show up that same day. And
you have to go. It looks like.
Yeah, I do.
You're getting the signal. It's like going to commercial. You're getting the signal. Like, can you stop this?
She will. But I'll just tell you this one. This guy, my parents lived in a building, and there's a lot of Jewish families in the building. And it was the next day. And the next day I'm sitting there, and I'm like beside myself. This is my first experience with very close death, which is, you know, at that time, it was insurmountable for me. And a guy goes, "I loved your father." And I go, "Thank you so much. So did I." And he goes, "He was a wonderful man." And I go, "Thank you so much for saying it." And he goes, "You know what I loved about him? When he sang, he could just engage a whole." I go, when he sang, I didn't know my dad sang. He goes, "Yeah, when we were in Acapulco one year, he sang." And I'll never forget. I go, "My dad never went to Acapulco." And he looks at me really seriously, and he goes, "Is this the Goldstein Shiva?"
Oh my God!
I go, "No, it's down there."
There was a movie that people should Google called Bye Bye Braverman with Godfrey Cambridge, George Segal, Jack Weston, and it's looking for their friend Braverman, who died, and they go to the wrong funeral.
Are you serious?
Like, yeah, Sidney
What's it called?
Lumet's
Bye Bye what? I'm gonna watch it. I'll download it tonight. What's it called?
Bye Bye Braverman by Sidney Lumet.
Oh, I love it.
And it's about midlife crisis and what's death and losing a friend and when